I'm so excited that we're here for the demonstration and launch of the YAS Digital Marketplace. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Munira Tujibrin. I am the training coordinator for the Youth in Agribusiness project. And YAS, which is being implemented by the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, with support from the Kingdom of Netherlands, warmly welcome everyone to this great event where we are going to walk you through the developed application called the YAS Digital Marketplace. Yes, so we trained beneficiaries, but for sustainability, we're not just letting them go. We want them to have a platform where they can sell their products, advertise, meet with mentors, other vendors, network with other farmers, and more. So you're all welcome, and I'm glad to see that YAS participants from the 4 implementing states, that's Oyo, Kano, FCT, and Ogun states, are in this meeting. So please, we encourage you to maintain the discussion topic and questions only around the topic. And you can drop your questions in the chat box. We'll respond accordingly. We have the competent the app developers are here. They're going to respond to your questions accordingly. And we hope that you can introduce yourself. You can also use the chat box to introduce yourself. You can just tell us, okay, which state you're joining from. Is it Ogun State, Kano, FCT, or Oyo State, respectively? So you're all welcome, and I wish you all the best. I'm so excited that this app has come to a reality. I remember when we first started having the discussions around these things and all the process around this app. But today we are set to walk you through the features and the registration process of this app. So you're all welcome. And now I'll hand over the mic to the developers of this app. They've done an amazing job. That's the NatCast team. Mr. Salisu is here. Mr. As, this name is so hard to call. Mr. Abraham is here. Mr. Al-Saya is here. And Mr. Jega is also here. This is a competent team that are going to walk you through this process. So thank you so much. And I hand over the mic to Mr. Abraham to take us through the process of the app. We want to know the features of this app, the registration process, and what we and participants can do on this app. So thank you, and over.
Okay, thank you so much. So very quickly, I'm going to share my screen and then we can all go through the app together. So essentially, we've built the YAS Marketplace, which is a multi-sided digital platform. And we've built this targeting the agricultural landscape in Africa. So we have the vendors, we have the mentors, we have the buyers, and we have the end-to-end solution whereby you can easily integrate your payments. You could handle things like logistics, delivery, and all the features that we'll be working through together. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. Let's restart this. Okay, how about
now? Yes.
Okay, great. Great. So yeah, so this is the YAS Marketplace, and we've built the marketplace, and then what you have here is the end-to-end system where, as a vendor, you can access the IITA certified learning resources, and then also you can get help on business management and post-harvest handling and other features on the platform. So very quickly, I'm going to go through the process of setting up your accounts, and I'm going to do this. So this is the link, yasmarketplace.com, you can all go and visit the platform and you can see all the features that it has. Okay, so this is the sign up page where you have the different account types. So you want to select the particular account type that best suits with you. So you want to, are you a vendor, are you a buyer, or you want an account that has both features? And then you can select. But for the case of this demonstration, we're going to select the vendor. So once you select that, you want to enter in your details. So I'm just going to quickly go through the steps, and then you want to put in your phone number. I'm just going to put in this. And also you want to set your password. So what you would do is ensure that you have all the rights. I'm just going to suggest a new password. And then since this is for testing purpose, I'm just going to show this, but we're going to reset it afterwards. Okay. Yep. So I'm just going to use this, and then it also gives like a guide to ensure that you meet all the right requirements. So you see that for this case, I'm missing a special character, so I can just add one special character. Like I said, this is for demo purposes, so I can just add it here and show the password, and it will be resetting the account after this call. So yes, once you have this set up, the next thing you want to do is just to enter in your name. So you can just select a name and then your last name. And then you just have to agree to the terms and conditions, the private policy, and then you create the account. So once your account is created, you're going to get an email, and the email is going to contain your OTP for the authentication purposes. And once you get the OTP, you then verify the account. So I'm just going to check my email now, and I've gotten the code. So I'm going to come here and then verify the email. And the code is okay. So yes, so the OTP is verified, and now we can head over to the dashboard. Yes, so as a vendor, you can either choose the type of being like a solo entrepreneur, or like that's like a freelancer, or you can choose to set up your business if you have a registered business. And and if it's a case where you're a cooperative, you also can select that option as well. So you want to select so for this demonstration, we're going to select the registered business, and what you have to do now is just to enter some information about your business. So you can enter in the business name, and then also you can also just enter in the description. What is your business all about? What do you do? So you could just add that here, and then your phone number, email already stated, and then you could just add like an address. So you can set in your address, and then you can select your city, and then you select the states. So once that is done, the next thing you have to do as a registered business is to enter in your CAC registration number and also your tax identification number. All these will be used for the verification purpose, because as a vendor, you have to be verified and vetted before you get access to the platform. So we're going to proceed. Once those information are saved, the next stage is where you enter in some documents, just also for verification purposes. So you want to enter in your CAC certificates, and then also you want to enter in your tax clearance certificate as well. And then also you have to enter a government issued ID. So that would be like your passport, your driver's license, or voter's card. Any of them would work. So you want to pass that in as well. And this one. So once you have that set, then you proceed to submitting your vendor profile. And once it's submitted, it's being reviewed by the experts team at IITA to ensure that all the files you've uploaded and all the information that you uploaded are correct and they are valid. And then once that is done, you would be able to get full access to the platform. So let's just give this a moment to load. And then the ID is taking some time. Let's see. Yeah, details and continue to the comment. Okay, let me just quickly add this again. Just same process as before. And this time around, just gonna pick this and then FCC. Yep. I'm gonna add the same description as we used earlier. And next. So we're going to pin this here. Okay, so we have the ID. Now this is the wrong one. Let's go back a bit. Yeah. Yeah, so we have all the document sets, and then we're going to continue to bank details. And then we support all the listed and approved banks. So you can just select your bank. And so the reason why we are asking for the bank details is essentially just for payouts as a vendor. Once you're able to sell your goods and also agri-related services, you want to get paid. So you can just enter in your details. And then once your account details is verified, you proceed to review. And then once you are sure that every information you passed is correct, then you just agree to the terms and then the vendor agreements, and then you submit for review. So once it's submitted, like I mentioned earlier, it will be reviewed. And then once it is approved, you're also going to get an email, and then you can proceed to access the platform. So I'm quickly going to go to the admin and then also just review and then approve this application so that we could see all the full features of the platform. So just a second to approve this. So pending approval, you will not be able to access any of these features. We've currently approved this particular application, so we should get full access now to the platform so that you can see that's the flow for setting up your account. So essentially, you put in your details, and then also you're going to put some information about your business. And then lastly, you're going to add some supporting documents. So for the case of the registered business, we had to add the CAC, the tax clearance, and then ID. But for a freelancer or just a freelancer, you don't need to attach any of those files. All you need to add is just your utility bill and then your ID. So we have two levels of verification. So that's the setup flow. So very quickly now we are going to go through these features end to end. But in this case, we're going to use configured account. So as a vendor, once you sign in, you get your dashboard, and then your dashboard has every single details about your account. So one smart thing we have on this dashboard is it gives you insights. So it gives you information on the items you should restock, and then also it gives you information on your products that you've not updated for the past 90 days, just to help you to ensure that your informations are rightly set. So it shows you your revenue for the past 30 days, and then also you can filter this if you want to see it as well, and if you want to see it for the you can do this adjustment. So basically, this is just the dashboard that gives you all the insights on your account. So you can see your revenue and the progression over the days. And then also you need the numbers of orders. You can see your recent orders. And then also you can see your top performing products. And then also you get to see your inventory alert, which just gives you a quick overview on your products and your current inventory level. So we're going to move over to the products very quickly. So the product is where you get to see all your products. You can filter them based on different status, and then also you can filter them based on their stock level. So if you want to see all your products in the right healthy amount of stock, you can check that. And then also you can also see your product that are low in stock, and then you can just make updates accordingly. So very quickly, let's just walk through the process of creating our product. So you just have to click on the Create Products button, and then you just want to enter the product name. And so I have some details already set, so let's just use those ones very quickly. So you enter the product name, and then you want to enter the SKU. And then once you have that set, you also want to pass in a short description, and then also the category. And since we're adding a rice, we're just going to put that under grains. And we should have grains here. Yes, grains and cereals. And then also you want to add a short description, because you want the buyers to have like a bit of understanding of your product. So you could just add a very short description, so anyone purchasing the product will get to see what it's for. So I'm just going to add that, and then also optionally you can add like a long description for people that want more details. You can add that as well. And then we come to the pricing section. The pricing is where you get to add the price of your product. So let's say this particular product sells for, we can just use any random amount. Let's say this particular product sells for 12,500. And then what you want to add again is a compare price, just to give them like an incentive for them to purchase a product. And then also to help you with accounting, we also have the cost price, like how much it costs to get this product. So you could add that here. Once you do that, you get to see your profit margin. So yes, you got the product for 10,000, you're selling for 12,500. So your profit margin is at 20%. And then also you get to add the stock level. So you can say how many of this product you have. Let's say you have like 100, you put in the quantity. And then also we have the low stock alert. So when do you want to be alerted via email and via the in-app notification that the current stock level is below a particular threshold? And then you could just add like 20. So you get notified whenever the stock level gets below 20. And then also you can support back orders, like just in case you are low in stock, but you still want to accept orders from buyers, you can also do this as well. And then also you can just put in like the weight, products in kilogram, and then you can just set other specifications like the length, the height, and just all the specifications. And then another things we have is where you want to add more details about the product. For example, what state was it sourced from? Or just any information that would give more insight on the product. So for example, we could just say origin, and then we're just going to say Open States. So you could just add other specifications that will give more information. And then also you could just add some details that will help in the searching and finding this product. So things relating to, since we're adding a product for ofada rice, we could just add this. So anyone search for ofada rice will be indexed by the Google search engine, and then your product will be suggested. So this is just like adding information to help with the searching and finding your product easily. So this is it's optional, but something you should always do just to ensure that you get good visibility on the web. So once you have that done, you can just set the brand. So the brand is essentially your name, and then the manufacturers, and then you could just add other tags if you want to. So that's majorly the flow for creating the product. And once you have this done, you want to click on create product, and then this product will be created. So I'm going to click on this. Let's see. Okay, we have a product without slug already, so we're gonna call this yeah, and then we're going to click on create. I think we already use this SKU for 2, and then yeah, let's click this now. Good. So the product is created, and then the next thing you want to do is just to add images. So it's very important for you to always add images to your product. So we're just going to add some quick images. So we're just going to add 2 images. So we have one, and the first image you add is the primary image. So you should always ensure that you add the best one first, and then we could just add other supporting images. So yes, we've completed the process of creating a product. And then we have other features as well in creating this product. So you could add like a traceability just to show like the origin and the supply chain of this particular product to give your buyers some sense of provenance record as to how you were able to source for this particular product. So to do that, you just have to, firstly, I'm going to update just to save the image. And then once that is done, I could just show you this very quickly. So for the traceability, you just want to enter things like the farm you sourced the information from, if it's a case of a produce, and then the location where you sourced it from. And then also you can generate the QR code so that anyone who scans this QR code will be able to get all the sourcing and traceability details. So that's for creating product. And then on this product management panel, you can do so many things. For example, you could just, instead of updating your products individually, let's say, for example, you've had your products the past 3 months and you've not gotten some sales and you want to just like reduce the price to see if you get some buyers. Instead of doing that individually, you could just mark multiple products. And then once you have them marked, you can click on publish if you want, or unpublished. And then also you can choose to update the prices. So let's say, for example, you've not had sales like I mentioned earlier, and then you want to reduce the selling price by 5,000 naira just to see if you get some sales. You want to do this across all the selected products. You can just apply the update, and then it's applied to all the products, and then you don't have to do that individually. And then you can see your stock level, and then you can see the status of all products. So for the ones that are out of stock, you can easily just restock them. So that's on the product side. Another features we have is the variants, and the variant essentially is instead of you creating multiple products for a similar item you sell, you can just create like different variants. I'll give for example, let's say for example, you sell rice and then you have the 5 kg, you have the 10 kg, you have the 25 kg. So instead of creating individual products for each of this, you could just create one product. And then once you have the one product, all you just have to do is to then say, okay, would have multiple variants. You have the one of the 1 kg, you have the one of the 5 kg, you have the one of 10 kg. So when any individual clicks on your product, they get to see the different variations and then they get to pick the one. So this is very good for organizations. And then we have the bundling feature. The bundling feature is a very good feature because sometimes you have a product that performs very well and then you have another product that does not perform well. So what you want to do is just to create like a bundle to ensure that your low performing product also does well. And so what you can do in that case, you could just say special package, and then just add some brief description. We call this discounted offer. And then I'm just going to add 2 products that would join on this package. So I could add this one, and then I could add this one. So we've added 2 products, and then you could just give like a fixed amount off, or let's just say a percentage off. So you're giving 5% off if the user gets to buy 2 of this product as a package, as to against buying them individually. So this is a good feature as well. And then you can click on create, and then you get your bundle created. So your users can see, okay, if we pair this product, we'll get a better deal. And then also we have our other features as well. You can check your orders, and essentially you can see all the details on your orders. You can see the ones that's delivered, you can see the one that has been shipped, and then you can also see the one that's still processing, and then you have to look into them to get them delivered within the due time. And then also you can just view them to get more details on them. And then you can see the product, you can see when it was ordered, and also you can get to see messages between you and the particular buyer. So that's for the product, and then you get the activity tab, which shows you the end-to-end details as to regarding the order history. And yeah, so that's for the orders. And then also if you have like a bulk order and you are unable to deliver all on a go, what you can do is you can create like a shipment. If someone ordered for like 50 products and then you have like 30 ready, you could create a shipment that sends out the first 30, and then once you are able to process that, you can then deliver the other part. So that's the important thing of having the pitchment, creating the shipment. So it's very good for batch delivery. And then we're going to talk very quickly on the inventory. So the inventory is just a central hub for you to see details on your current stock. You can see the low stocks, the ones that are out of stock, and then also you can get some stock health. Will tell you, okay, based on your current stock, you're at a healthy level. You're on a scale of 1 to 10, probably a 6, and then you can take necessary steps. For example, it's telling you that one of your products are out of stock, so you have to look into that. And then also another good thing it does is it gives you stock recommendations, like the number of based on the orders and then the numbers of times they've purchased the product. It also gives a recommendation of which stock you should restock. So you can see that as well. And then also you can view like the stock history. And that's for cases where you've had like multiple updates in the quantity. You can view that as well. And then you can also restock. So if you click on this, current stock is this, you can add more stock and then update the record as well. So that's for the inventory. And then for the warehouses is essentially where you store your products. If you just want to have a record where you know, okay, what are the different warehouses you keep your products and what are the current level, just to help you with planning and also coordination, you can also do that as well. And then we have the analytics, basically giving you more details on your orders, your revenue, which category is being ordered the most, your top product, where are your customers coming from? Are they coming? You can see for this case, you have 2 from Abuja, and then also your sales funnel, where are they coming from? You know, it shows you that, okay, most of your sales have come from views, so you could optimize for that even more. And then also the traffic sources, you know, where was the links redirected from? Did they come organically from the site, or it was from someone sharing your link on WhatsApp or on Facebook? So all of these help you, you know, to better make changes that would ensure you get the most sales for your product. And then also it gives you a revenue forecast that, okay, based on your current revenue for the next possible 30 to 90 days, these are the financial projections that you could, you know, you could make, and then also the confidence band for that as well. And then also the product comparison just compares some of your products, and then you're able to see some actionable insights. It's giving you the search volume, and then also just giving you some statistics. So that's for the analytics parts. And then we also going to look at the mentorship section. So one thing the IITA has done is not just give you a tool, but also giving you a platform whereby you can get access to specialists and people who are way advanced in the field, and then they can give you structured guidance. They can hold your hands and then also help you with information and resources for you to scale your own businesses. So as a vendor, you get access to this mentorship feature. So you can find a mentor. So you can search for a mentor. You can find one. So if you guys are aligned on interests, then you can view the profile. So there are going to be vendors that are free. There are going to be some that are paid, and then you can select the one that works best for you. You send your request to the mentor, to the mentor, and then once he reviews the request and he feels there's a way that he can help or support, and then the mentor would be able to have a mentorship relationship with you. And then using the platform, you guys could schedule a call, have goals, and then also, so these are the goals. You can set different goals. So for this current mentorship relationship, you can see the goals is to reach 500 monthly revenue, and then also you can update the status and the progression of each goals. And then the session is essentially you just having a time with your mentors, and then also achievement is what happens during that mentorship session. So it's a really extensive feature that would ensure that your business actually grows. And then aside the mentorship, we also have the learning hub. So the learning hub essentially is just a repository of different courses, short courses, text-based courses, and also video-based courses. So for example, if you're into life care, you can click on life care, and then you can see some courses, and then you can pick the one that works best for you. You could register, and then once you register, you can see the progression, how far you're going. And then once you're done, you're also going to get your certificates. courses. So there are free courses like an introduction to crop farming. You can start for free. You can save it if you have an interest to come back later, and then you can gain some very, very, very important knowledge for you to scale and then improve your business. And another feature is the innovation hub. So if you have like an idea you want to share to get feedback from the community, you can share your ideas, and then you can get reviews, you can get feedback from the wider YAS community, and you can improve from them. So you can also get inspired by looking at other people's ideas. You can thumbs up for the one you think are interesting. So you can look at different ideas, and then most importantly, you can also see some showcases like what are people doing, and then you could check out other projects as well. So that's for the innovation hub. And then also what we've done is to ensure that you have the right opportunities. So there are different initiatives that support agripreneurs. So you can see different grants, different offers that are, in the space that you can explore. And then if you see anyone that aligns with your interest and it's within the time frame for you to apply, you can click on the details. You get like details on the particular grant or initiative, and then you can just click on apply, and then you'll be able to apply for that particular grant. And then also, we also have the community. The community is just the place where you have different vendors coming together to discuss ideas. So it's a very good place to, have discussions. And then as a vendor, I'm sure it's very important for you to, handle your finances. So that's where we have the payout section. And so the payout section shows you how much you've earned so far. And then also it shows you how much is in escrow. That means you've delivered the product, but the user have not confirmed the receipt. So once it does that, it's released from the escrow, and then you can request for payments. And then within 24 hours, you get your payment to your bank account. So during the setup process, we added one. And you can also add more bank accounts. Choose the one you want to receive your funds, and then request for payments, and then it will be completed. You will get your payment history, and then you can download the report. So that's for the payout. And then also you can create coupons to give people better deals on the projects, just to ensure that they patronize you, which is essentially the goal. And then also we have the messages section, is just where you can get messages from users and also from your mentor, and then you can reply and then have the conversations ongoing. So and then also one thing you have on the vendors dashboard is also to see your abandoned carts. So you could see cases where someone added your product to cart but did not proceed, to actually check out. So that will just give you data on possible reasons of why that is happening. Could it be the price? Could it be the other information? Could it be the delivery timeline and other things? And that will just help you to make adjustments accordingly. So we've touched majorly most of the parts, and I'm just going to quickly so this is the vendors part. And so what we've seen so far is just essentially things covering the selling aspect of it, the inventory aspects, the payout aspects. There are still other things we didn't mention just because of time, because there are things like order routing, how you route your orders between warehouses, your suppliers. You can have that list here. So there are other things we didn't touch, but for the sake of time, we've just shown you how you'll be able to manage your the selling, the inventory, the payouts, and also the mentorship. How do you get the best out of it? The learning opportunities, the community, the grants, and even the innovation, and all of this is in a single platform. This is not what you see any place else, because this is a one of a kind of marketplace and platform. Because the goal is not just to help you sell, the goal is to build a next generation of agripreneurs, and that's what IITA brings to the table. And so this is the vendor side, and then also we have the buyer side. And that's where, as a buyer, you just come here, you view the landing page, and then also you create the product. And this is the product we added during the call, and you can view the product. And also, if you want, you add it to your carts, and also you check out, make payments using your card or using USSD, and then the bundle deal we created earlier, you can also get to see that as well. So this is the YAS Marketplace app, and we've built this to ensure that every vendor, every farmer, every agribusiness or cooperative are able to sell their products. They're able to manage their inventory across multiple warehouses, fulfill orders, and then receive payouts directly to their verified bank accounts. And also for the buyers, we've also ensured that they are able to discover quality products, pay securely, and then also track every order. And also just giving the vendors access to mentors and then guiding the next generation through sessions that would help them. And everything is done within the platform. And we want you to use this platform to your advantage. It's a very robust platform. The features are so extensive and there's so much value in it. So we're going to open up a question just for the sake of time, and then we're going to answer a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abraham, for taking us through the app features and the properties and how we can use them appropriately. Yeah, so the floor is open for questions and answers. If you have any question, Salisu, please, can they unmute their mic or they can use they have to use the chat box?
Unfortunately, they have to just drop the question. Any question you have, you can just drop it in the Q&A section. I think we have one question. The person is asking, if I'm registering as an individual, what documents do I need to upload to the app? Also, if I start as an individual and later have a registered company, can I switch from an individual to registered company? Abraham.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So I'm going to answer the first one first. So as an individual, the documents you upload is different from one you just saw during this demonstration, because as an individual, you don't have your CAC certificates and you don't have other documents. So what you just need is a utility bill that would prove, or a bank statement that can prove your residential address, and then also a government issued ID. So those are the two things that you need as an individual. And so the second question, that can you update your account should in case you are able to register your business? Yes, you can do that. As you can start out as an individual, and then once you have the documents upon full registration of your business, then you can proceed to update your account to the registered vendor, and then in doing so, you have to provide the documents, and then once you provide the documents, it's going to be reviewed, and if everything checks out, then you get upgraded to that status. Yes.
Right, thank you. I think I have another question here. Please, can some of the members registered in one phone due to network issue? I don't know what this means, but I think the person is asking whether they can use their mobile phone to register, if I get that right.
Yes, yes, you can. The platform is built to be fully mobile responsive, so it's not just for your web or desktop systems. You can also use your phone to access the platform to do all the things that you would typically do on your laptop seamlessly. So yes, you can.
Okay, I think that's the only question I can see here. Guys, if you have any question, please drop the question in.
Doctor, there's one question. They ask, if I don't have a CAC, how can I app register? So Abraham.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so you have to register as an individual. So we have three types. Once you register as a vendor, and so you can either register as an individual, that's like your freelancer, or secondly, you registered as a registered business. So that's the case where we ask you for your CAC and your tax identification number and your tax clearance certificates. So if you don't have those information, or you've not attained that registration status. So what you just have to do is to select the option as a freelancer or an individual. So in that case, we're not going to ask you for those documents. All we're going to ask you is your proof of address, which could either be like a utility bill or your bank statement, and then your government issued ID, which could be your voter's card, your NIN, or your international passport. Any of those would serve.
Yeah. I don't think there is any more question. Munirat, over to you, please. Munirat, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I was sorry. I was attending to some participants having issues joining. I've told them to register as well if the direct link isn't giving them access.
Yeah, because of our security policy, because we had experience in the past when you just allow people to bypass the registration, the meeting can be hacked and all sort of things can happen. But what we can do is we can share the link with you later, and hopefully they will be able to get the details of the presentation.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Abraham, there's
Okay,
one more
are there more
question.
questions in the chat box or
Sorry.
Q&A box?
Yeah, so there's one question that just popped up. So Abraham, they're asking, is the app available on the Play Store and iOS, or is it a website?
Yeah, so we have the web platform live and running, and then also we have the SPA. So the SPA simply means that you are able to just install it to your phone as well. So we support both of them.
Great.
Okay. Yeah, so if there are no more questions, then we move to the next item on the agenda, which is the next step. Is that okay, Abraham Salisu?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so the next step on the agenda is to discuss about the resources. Just to let the participants know that this meeting is being recorded, and we will be sharing the recorded version of this conversation so that they can, have access to it at their free time. And also we'll make available the app link address so that they can register accordingly. At least now they have, they'll get the recorded version that can actually guide them. So they'll be able to register on their mobile device. So I just want to ask quickly, are there any restrictions to some particular phones? Because most of them will be using their, mobile device to register this. So if there are any restrictions or specific phones that cannot be used, or you let us know so that we attend to their queries accordingly.
Now, any device that has access to the internet would be able to access the platform. So your Android devices, your iPhone devices, your laptops, all of them would be able to easily access the platform.
Okay, thank you so much, the NatQuest team. Thank you so much for walking us through this process on the features and then the registration process and all of that. So from the YAS team, do we have any question? YAS management team, do we have any question or suggestion or contribution to this before we close? Okay, I see there are none. Okay, so with this, I would say we've come to the end of this demo launch, walking you through the YAS features and the processes for registration as well. And we want to appreciate everyone. Is someone speaking? Want to appreciate everyone for joining, so we don't take much of your time. Want to appreciate everyone for joining, and then we'll keep you posted on the next steps. We're going to share the resources, the recorded version, and then the application URL so that everyone can have access to, explore the application. It's going to be a very good place for, buying, selling, networking, mentorships, and all. And this is a sustainable platform that we enable our beneficiaries, the YAS trained beneficiaries, have access to new customers, not just the ones they have before, meet new customers and access all the opportunities that the app holds. So thank you all so much, and bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye.